And we are back with the episode 61 of the Eric and Tony Show with our repeat guests.
It's
Jimmy and Jordan.
Spooky season.
It's spooky
favorite
season.
time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like a
I'm the
Halloween special.
leprechaun.
Yeah.
I'm the leprechaun.
Stop. No.
How could we not have you guys on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Thank you,
Halloween.
man.
It's,
I'm a little disappointed we didn't paint our face.
Yeah.
I told
Yeah.
him when I got him outside, I was
we
like,
literally talked about it. That's what's funny.
I was gonna do like half of my face, but we were like,
Or let's paint our faces for blah blah.
Yeah.
We'll give Tony a
Yeah.
flashback when we
I
went
had
to
these
Cypress
like
Hill
grand
concert.
ideas too. I was like, oh yeah, we have these guys on. We got to do fucking like costumes and crazy and like
Yeah.
fucking
Oh
all
my
this stuff.
God,
And then
we're-
like I'm at work and I'm like, I'm fucking so tired.
I was telling these guys,
Yeah.
I was
It's
thinking
like-
about
Putting my
my-
pants on
Yeah.
slow. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is fucking
We would have been
Yeah.
late
costume,
another
one of my
15
clothes.
minutes.
Yeah.
but we look like Halloween every day anyway. So it's like, I feel like now Halloween is for amateurs. It's like Cinco de Mayo. Like
Yeah.
everyone wants to be like
Oh,
Mexican.
you only do it
Oh
once
my
a
God.
year?
Like oh,
I
you're
live this shit, bro.
Yeah, like it's an everyday thing. So I'm like the actual 31st is like for the amateurs, Yeah.
I go to sleep to the Jason theme song.
Yeah.
What's weird on actual Halloween, like Jordan and I, we like usually with our friends and family, we usually just stay home, watch horror movies
Yeah.
and carve pumpkins on actual Halloween.
Yeah.
We do all this shit
That's cool.
before.
Yeah.
That's fucking actually really cool. That's
Yeah,
like,
because
that's dope.
everybody's out.
It's
and
always the
crazy.
hype to Halloween. There's
Yeah.
always stuff happening.
Yeah.
Either if it's like mazes or
Sacrifices, seances,
Ghost hunting.
usual-
It's
yeah.
like
Burning
Christmas,
witches, you
but
know.
like you guys do like you treat Halloween as like Christmas, like how families treat Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
My-
you sit
Very
around,
true.
like that's great though. That's
my
fucking.
my
that's
buddy
cool.
John Engel always goes, "Hey, Merry Christmas, man! It's your
Yeah.
season." I'm like,
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Well, we thank our mom for that though.
Yeah.
It's because she's like all into horror and stuff. So
She asked him, "Let's go see the Terrifier 3 movie."
Oh, yeah?
She was pushing him.
Yeah.
I
Say,
Hey,
couldn't
boys,
make
it's
it.
been a while since I scared the shit out of you. Let's go see
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
And I was like, "You're gonna go watch that with mom?" He's like, "Oh my god, I guess." Because we went to the Ice Nine Kills premiere
Yeah.
for the music video that
Yeah.
we got to be in.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys about that. Like, I saw you guys posting some stuff on that. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah, that was
fucking- looks
fun.
pretty
Like
dope.
those
Yeah.
shoot dates are fun, but they're long, but it's all worth it. And
Yeah.
it's always a party with those guys. Those guys
Yeah.
are really cool, and they love having us, and we
Yeah.
love being around them.
And
Yeah.
all the extras that are on there, like
Mhm.
we've been in other videos with them.
Yeah,
They're all
Yeah.
like really cool. They're like
Okay.
it became like a family now.
So you had
so-
like a kind of a clique that you guys move around. That's
Yeah.
yeah, we're professional background actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
which
You
is
can
cool.
walk in on set and they'll tell us, "Oh, pretend you're drunk, dance, or pretend to kill each other," and
Yeah.
boom,
just
we'll all
fall,
hit it.
Got
You
it.
know,
fall when you hear the beat drop.
Yeah.
Just boom.
It's
exactly.
funny you guys are like, moving up through. When I first met you, I was just getting into, acting shit and all that kind of stuff, barely getting into stand up.
Yeah.
Now, shoes on the other foot. Now you're acting and drinking. I'm sober. All this crazy flip flop over
Yeah.
here.
It's crazy, man. It was just like we finally grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
guys learn? Have you like learned anything or grab anything from those like working with those guys and being part of the like seeing the production and all that stuff?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of use things in your
So
own
much
movie
to
that
learn,
you're
yeah.
working on and that you're
Mhm.
you're
I-
creating at the moment.
I feel
From
like
equipment.
we
everything.
learned more doing background shit.
Yeah.
And we've also heard like a lot of independent filmmakers, they say if you want to start doing stuff like this and you have no experience, it's best to start off as background.
For sure.
first.
You're getting
Yeah.
paid to be and just kind of look
Yeah.
around. And you have a
Yeah.
lot of downtime to kind of wander around.
You'll see every job there.
Yeah.
And you'll see the
Also,
equipment
all those
they're
like
using.
the behind the camera people, when you take interest in what they're doing, they're like, "Oh, this guy's fucking cool as shit." Like you
Yeah.
actually get you're not some like talent like, "Get out of here, camera guy," or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just like fucking downplaying their role because they're not in front of
Yeah.
the camera. That's like
Like there's a job there just for watching the lens, the next lens.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
your
yeah.
job is to make sure this lens
Yeah.
doesn't break. You got to make sure, oh, lens
No
is in the is coming through. I got the lens. And I was just
Mhm.
like, whoa, like
That's crazy.
you have like a little baby
Yeah.
lens that you got to take care of,
Yeah.
I'm sure you got to know like a lot of the people that are part of that. You know,
Mhm.
like the
Mhm.
lens guy and the camera guy and
The battery guy,
director.
the one
Yeah,
who comes
yeah,
and changes
everything.
the battery in the camera.
like all those little like intricate parts of
Mhm.
making this piece
Yeah.
of art.
I mean, all those jobs there are necessary
yeah.
Very.
because us
Yeah.
being in a micro production, we all have 10 jobs
several
each.
hats,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I learned a lot too. There was like, it was like a big wake up call, especially for me.
Yeah.
Like there was so much shit to learn on this, like the business wise, contract wise, casting. Yeah. Which I got pretty good at, like, is the casting shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, it's just like,
So what are our roles, dude?
Oh, you'll be coming. You guys will
We have a
definitely
cool
be
scene
coming.
with
Dead
you
body
guys.
Yeah,
number
yeah.
3.
Yeah.
What did you do for the casting process? Like, what were you? Did you have like
So a lot of the extras that we cast with. So
Yeah.
we're with our friend Nadia. She's the girlfriend of the singer of Ice Nine.
Okay.
So
Cast
she's
of
also
spell casting.
yeah. So she casts people, but she's always looking for people.
Yeah.
So Jordan and I know so many. We're like, oh, you need
Oh, yeah.
people. So we're sending
no,
her
sure.
emails. So we
Yeah.
got good at that. So
Yeah.
we
Because
started
people
doing
who
it
sit
for
in
our
our
film.
chair.
Yeah.
We get
Yeah.
every single profession coming in, or people who
Mhm.
aren't acting or want to be in it.
Right.
You want to be in this? You want to come here? And they're
Mhm.
like, yeah, shoot me the text, and then we just
No
plug them
way.
in.
Barbers too. The chair
Yeah.
that they're referring to.
Yeah.
Barber
Yeah.
chairs.
Yeah. So we're like plugging everyone in too. It's like
Yeah.
everyone's meeting each other. Everyone's meeting each other. Yeah.
That's how
It's
it works,
fun.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you make your little community,
Yeah.
your little Rat
Yeah.
Pack, your little Happy Madison.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for
we
sure.
call it Spooky Madison.
Spooky
Madison.
Yeah. So it's been pretty cool. Like I felt like what's weird is that like my brother and I are playing like 24 to 28-year-olds on
Yeah.
set, and we're actually on set with from 19 to like 28-year-olds.
Yeah.
And what's weird is that like they trip out when they find out our age. They're like, how old are you guys? You guys look young. And we're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy because I feel like the 2000 like babies and up or
Yeah.
like they look older.
Yeah.
Like we all still look like teenagers,
Yeah.
but more wiser now.
Yeah,
yeah.
You just never lose your dinosaur.
Yeah,
you know?
don't lose your
Yeah.
Is there
Dinosaur
like a
kids.
little rhyme with like like brown people not aging? Like
Oh,
Brown-
brown,
brown-
don't
brown don't
frown.
fuck around?
Brown
Oh.
don't frown.
Brown
Brown
don't
don't
frown.
frown. Yeah, brown don't frown.
that's
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
We moisturize, we have our little
Moist.
facial.
Brown don't
I
clown,
just
dude.
do a
Water and
facial
coconut oil.
moisturizer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water
Lot
and
of
coconut.
Yeah.
spring
Yeah.
water, alkaline water,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mineral water.
Holy water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
So
water.
Holy water. Yeah. Breathing
We went
exercises.
in when we first started paranormal investigating. We went into our local church by our family's house,
Yeah.
and we walked in. I was like, "Hey!" And they saw us with the giant glass jug. Like, we had to make sure it's got to be a glass jug. We don't want to put it in plastic. We
Yeah.
don't want to dilute it.
Yeah.
And then we walked in. They're like, "Hello, can we help?" I was like, "Oh, is it possible if we can get some holy water? Because the holy water they have there, it's like a running fountain. It's
Mhm.
not just
Okay.
like a." And they're like, "Oh, well, we don't have any holy water to give, but you guys can take it." And we just dunked the whole jug. Just
Definitely, we're like the modern day
Yeah.
Frog Brothers from
Yeah.
Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Squirt
looking
guns.
at us. We're all like filling it up too.
Yeah.
And
Fill
yeah,
it
we're all
up,
filling it
start
up.
making little
Everyone's-
vials.
Everyone turns around, looks back. And Jordan walks up. We're all, yeah,
So
canteen.
yeah.
for when we jumped into paranormal investigating, our hometown was associated with this coffee house called Rad Coffee,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
they got this paranormal investigator called Marco Santucci with Darkland Paranormal, and they do haunted upland downtown walk or
Okay.
something, which he still does to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys
And
got all the ghosts.
Shout
out
out
there,
to
so-
Darkland
Started out to
Paranormal.
Darkland. That's where it all began.
That's where we
you know?
learned everything too.
Really?
So we
Yeah.
got to know him, and then after, like the little haunted walks and stuff where they're showing us all the haunted locations,
Yeah.
we tell him like, "Hey, we're out in LA and there's some haunted spots. Would you be willing to go? Because if I know people at certain places who want to go in, like from Greystone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At the time, one of the managers from the Rainbow, and he was like, "Yeah, if you can get in, we'll be happy to go with you." And we got access to all those, and we
Yeah.
took him with us. And one of the craziest things is they have this box. It looks like a little guitar amplifier like this big, which is called the Rock Box, which is
Yeah.
our other friend that we met during this process through Marco. His name's Rocky.
They have a they
And
have
he
a
ma-
group
it's
called
pretty
Chill
much,
Seekers. Yeah.
What is it?
Shout out to Chill Seekers.
It's pretty much a ghost box where the ghost can talk to you without the radio freaking going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly clear, and it has like these echoes. And we took it upstairs to the vampire lounge where like they all used to hang out, that little
In the Rainbow.
In the
You know,
Rainbow bar?
That
Yeah.
little
That top
lounge
area
up
where
there.
they hung
You
out?
go up those
Yeah.
little ladders.
because it was the most quietest spot. Because if you
Mhm.
know the Rainbow, it doesn't turn off. There's always
Yeah.
stuff happening
Yeah.
from cleaning, to next bookings or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're like, we got there like at 2 a.m. and went in, and we were thinking it was gonna be empty. Like that stuff's a running place, counting numbers, whatever.
Yeah.
And supposedly the Guns N' Roses table was known to be like shaking or whatever. And we
Yeah.
tried to go to that table, but that table still occupied even after hours.
No
too.
way.
So, and that was around the time when Mario passed away.
Yeah.
Was not Mario. What's the chef's name? Miguel.
Miguel.
Oh.
Miguel
yeah.
passed away, and Lemmy passed away around that time. And Marco takes the box upstairs. We go up. I bring a little 8mm camera, like just because when you get tape, it actually prints more than digital.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we turned that on, and supposedly we got Lemmy's voice at the time,
with a little guitar riff.
and we got Miguel's voice.
Yeah.
No shit.
So we have those audios
That's fucking
that
crazy.
at the time when we were done, the manager at the time said, I can't, don't say anything about that. What was the point? You can't say anything.
Yeah, because to use their name,
Never show this to anyone.
Yeah, they want to like
he's
charge
like, I don't
want to
get fired. And I was like,
oh, really?
Like, okay, but now he doesn't work there anymore. And he has nothing to
Fuck
do with
that
it
guy.
anymore.
Yeah.
So we have this audio if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah.
On you?
Yeah, I have an audio of Lemmy's voice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fuck
You guys want to check it out? Yeah.
But you're going to hear multiple voices from it too.
That's why you record it, to get it out there.
Yeah. So before, like, the skeptics are always going to be skeptics, which we
Yeah.
like. So we're not here to like just be like, oh, this is real, this is fake,
It's like,
But
I'm Lenny.
it's whatever you
Ooh.
believe in. If you
Like-
believe in the paranormal, like all we're saying is shit happens and who you're gonna call.
So at the end, you hear a yes, but there's like somebody. If somebody hears it, they quoted that you hear a little guitar thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when you're
right.
there and you're like, we don't like to ask questions. That's not our job.
Yeah. We're not the
We leave that to
communicators.
Marco because
The
he was
professionals,
born supposedly a medium with his gift.
Yeah.
But if he has the tools and he can go beyond and stuff like, we like to know if there's something there.
Yeah.
We're kind of like, okay, maybe, maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
But skeptics are always your best at all this stuff. So I'm gonna play it one more time.
Lenny, was that you?
You hear
So
that?
at
Yes.
the end, you had
Yeah.
a yes.
Yes.
But you hear a guitar through
Yeah.
before that. So I'm gonna play it
Yeah.
one more time.
One more time.
Lenny, was that you?
Right there.
Mm.
Yeah.
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 That's crazy.
So it's too much of a coincidence.
You don't ever get
yeah.
worried about bringing that shit home with you? Like
All the
someone
time.
catching
Oh, that's
you?
why. That's why.
All the time.
That's why it's been honestly. It's
Sage
been
yourself on the way home?
Yeah.
and
Like,
shit?
yeah. We do all that.
I got
cleanse,
got sick
yeah.
with some type of like stomach indigestion
Yeah.
where I wasn't digesting, and I was always having like stomach pain. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's a sign I need to stop.
Yeah.
Supposedly like some people they ask like, hey, you can use me, use me. Well,
Fuck
so you don't
that.
want
Fuck,
to,
no,
because
no,
like
no.
the help channel.
Yeah.
And then if you find out like stuff about like the people who are together, they won't be
Yeah.
together anymore or something like
Yeah.
that
Well,
too.
I noticed
Mm.
after we went to a dark museum, that was the last time I went through a bad engagement after that. And I noticed like bad things were happening, and then he got sick, and then his girlfriend got sick at the time.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of, it happens in threes. So after that, we were like, all right, that was a
Yeah.
warning.
Take that as a sign,
yeah,
for
so it was
sure.
like,
That's why
it.
we're into cleansing, because it's also
Yeah.
spiritually, physically, and mentally,
mentally,
cleansing.
yeah.
Like what you guys are doing? You guys are doing a cleanse, alcohol
Yeah.
cleanse right now.
There's stuff
Yeah,
drinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
fine.
It's like
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
alcohol is it's drinking with the spirits too.
Yeah.
If you want to get a little
Yeah.
move towards that
Yeah.
area.
it's all like mindset.
Say
Yeah.
someone gets really drunk and they don't remember what happened. I don't remember. Hey, that wasn't you last night.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
like
a
spirit taking
Form
over
of
you.
possession,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, it's like you ever see like people who are really drunk and they're overly like sexual?
Yeah.
That's either a succubus or incubus demon that's making them do that. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, it's like no one should be that horny.
Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
No one should be that.
Jack
Yeah,
Daniels is a
yeah.
horny son of a bitch.
Yeah. I'll probably get a lot of hate for that comment, but it's just like, it's
In Marco's
yeah.
book, supposedly he's saying that there's an area if you don't want to go to the afterlife, you can stay here
It's like the
in this
Yeah, dude,
underworld, in the
it's
neither
funny you
world.
say that. I
yeah,
was
like
just
the
telling-
nether world. Yeah, it's the middle of heaven and hell.
I just read this book
Yeah.
called Chasing the Wild Pendulum or Stalking the Wild Pendulum.
Mhm.
It's about like fucking like consciousness levels and shit. And there's like
Oh yeah.
basically a food pyramid of stages of consciousness, right? So the highest
Mhm.
one's fucking full enlightenment, like almost like a nirvana type thing, and then the lowest is like where we operate on like the material level, right? But they're basically saying in the book, the most of the people, spirits you see in like haunted houses and shit, or like you contact through a medium or a fucking like clairvoyant
Mhm.
or through Ouija board,
Yeah.
are those people that don't cross over, that are in that lowest level of like fucking consciousness, because they're like.
Yeah.
But they're also the worst type of people. So
Yeah.
like if you're
Yeah.
in those situations, you don't want to
Yeah.
be like, even if you go into like some kind of like, meditation through like psychedelics and shit,
Mhm.
you want to have a guided person with you, because you don't want to just like,
Yeah, shaman.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're not trying to fucking get fucked up on like peyote, and then
Yeah.
you're basically going into your
Yeah.
head like you would a tough neighborhood blindfolded. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna get fucked with.
The spirit
gonna be a
world is
bad trip.
real, whether you believe it or not.
Do,
Like,
do you
yeah.
guys ever like delve into like what is it called? It's like the Day of the Dead, like the
Mhm.
like
Oh, those-
Mexican version
those
of
festivals?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Dude, that's
yeah,
racist.
That's no, that's what it is.
That's cool. Yeah, I
that's
don't
cool.
care.
Yeah, we don't
Like,
care.
Do
yeah,
your
yeah.
people?
Yeah.
Do your people?
I'm like, wait, I'm like, what do you mean our people?
Yeah.
Huh?
And the
Like,
answer is yes,
yeah,
they do.
The answer, yeah, they do. No.
Of
But that's
course.
like a whole
Yeah.
culture. But I love
Yeah.
how they celebrate it like that, where it's like
Yeah.
it's done like a respectful
Yeah.
way, but
Yeah.
also it's
Mhm.
really beautiful. And it's like
Yeah.
I feel like I've always wanted to go to one of those. One of our coworkers is going to
Mhm.
one at the cemetery.
Hollywood
Oh, in
Forever.
Hollywood. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard
I
about
went
And
that.
he's
last
like,
year.
dude, it's crazy. He's like 30,000 people.
Marcos?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
Nice.
he's like, dude, it's like
Paint
sick.
their
It-
faces. and
yeah,
shit.
like,
You
I
get
think that's
facial
like
painting,
to go to-
margaritas, like
yeah,
just walk
like,
around.
just everything. But like it's done
Yeah.
like in like everyone's kind
Oh,
of like
it's so
dressed in the same
festive.
kind of like theme, you know,
Yeah.
like that same like skeleton, but then
Mhm.
like pretty dresses and like wearing like the old like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, because
like-
also like death is also the celebration of life. If
Yeah.
you
Right.
live,
There's not a bunch of
Supposedly,
like
like-
slutty cops.
well,
walking
like-
around.
Yeah, it just
Exactly.
like it seems like a
Yeah.
really like
That's the
I'm a
place
nutty
next
cop.
door.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, like
Yeah.
this life we're in right now, it's like it's not real if you really think about it. Like this
Yeah.
is all temporary.
We're in
Our
the
real life
This is all a
when we leave.
simulation of the Matrix.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. He's all like, just try the blue pill or the red pill, huh?
Yeah.
And I'll show you how far the rabbit
I just
hole
took
goes.
both of those.
Yeah, I took
on the
both.
purple
What's that
pill, man.
mean?
I took
huh?
both. What
I
happens if you
just
take
shit.
both?
both of them.
Yeah, I was like, shit.
I gotta go. You know.
Yeah. So does that make it a green
So
pill?
what's cool
No.
about that day of the Dead Festival, Hollywood Forever,
Yeah.
is that you can walk through the cemetery.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
even like areas that are not lit, like
Yeah.
they'll sell you Palo Santos, and my chick and I we walk
what's that?
through. It's like a wood, as so they say you light
Yeah.
Palo Santos first, and it cleanses like the energy, and then the sage cleanses the other part of it.
Yeah.
But you can't light them both together, supposedly.
Hmm.
But like I'm not too deep into all that, but I love the smell of it.
It
My
does smell
deodorant that I
lovely.
wear
Yeah.
is Palo Santos. You
Oh,
know?
yeah. So he's basically like,
Spirit free.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm always trying
he's
to
like
you know,
spirit
stay
proof.
clean.
Yeah.
Spirit proof.
Yeah, he's spirit proof.
Spirits.
You guys
people
ever
fear
did
it,
any?
some people-
Went to any of those or tried it?
Actually, like
Apart from like a regular Halloween, but doing that version of Halloween.
What,
No.
the Day of the Dead?
Day of the
Yeah,
Dead.
the Day of
No,
the
we
Dead
haven't
thing.
yet.
It's always the day after. That's the thing. It's like you celebrate Halloween, and then Day of the Dead goes on for 2 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And
Yeah.
it's the November 1st and 2nd.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Huh.
And my cousin, Johnny Burns, his birthday's the 2nd, so he has a
Yeah.
Day of the Dead birthday, which is
Yeah,
kind of
that's
cool.
pretty
too.
And
Yeah.
my birthday's the day after that, so it's
Oh,
a busy
dope.
week for you
There.
guys. Yeah,
We're going bowling again?
we got a show here next week.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool, man.
You
We
be
have
there?
to be there, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
you know what it
it's
is.
all
Yeah.
connected with like the third eye and all that and
Yeah.
your chakra linings
Yeah.
because when you do cleanse your organs, it's all your chakras, your gut, your liver,
Yeah,
your lungs, your heart, your brain, like it just
Yeah.
all does that. You could do that also through like being out in nature to
Yeah.
reset, grounding,
Yeah.
jumping
Yeah.
in the ocean, hugging trees and shit,
Yeah, I
Use-
definitely like if I ever go to the
Mhm.
ocean, I always feel different. Like
Yeah.
I think anybody does like
because
you
it
get
has like
that-
magnesium and calcium in it. I
yeah,
think,
just like I
all
don't know,
that
like the
shit.
waves and like the energy of the waves
Yeah.
going and
Mhm.
back. I don't know, it just makes you feel different
Yeah.
and feel like better about whatever
Mhm.
situation you got going on. Same thing with like being in the mountains and stuff.
Mhm.
You just feel like I don't know, one with nature. Like
Yeah.
all that
Like
stuff.
a-
I think there's a
Yeah.
point
Yeah.
to
It like
you know?
cleanses
Sure.
like
Take your
sound,
shoes off,
yeah,
start
Yeah.
grounding,
it
get
cleanses like
charged.
sound
Yeah.
like sound pollution out too
Yeah.
because we're
Right.
in the city,
Mhm.
so all the music and all the horns and the helicopters.
Yeah,
and shit.
noise pollution, you gotta cleanse noise. That's why
Yeah.
sometimes
Was it
when
EMF
we do
too?
go out,
Electromagnetic
you've
frequencies
been
and all
you've
that
been
shit?
in
Yeah.
the backwoods.
EMF
too,
too,
right?
yeah, from the
so
cell
you notice
phones,
from
yeah.
being
Yeah.
here,
Yeah,
and when you go out, do you get somewhat of cabin fever just from being
Oh,
out here?
I
Yeah.
get like anxiety when I come back here. I'm
Right?
like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this is like nuts.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
what
basically
am I
we're in the
doing?
matrix right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you really kind of like
Mhm.
anything. I think with nature, it kind of refocuses like what your experience should really be, like the best parts of like being alive. You
Yeah.
know, it's like there. I mean, there's good parts about being in communities and being social and being
Definitely.
in bustling cities and all that stuff. There's definitely an energy to it. Probably,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
probably equal. Like you
Yeah.
come back, but it's like very overwhelming. It's like
Yeah.
jumping into cold water. You're like, whoa.
You
it's
know
like
what's
so many
crazy? How
people.
you speak about energy, even having like a bunch of sex partners.
Yeah,
Like if you're sleeping with people who have traumas and shit,
yeah,
that shit's latching onto you. Like
Yeah.
they say, like energy traumas latch on more than STDs.
Sex
So-
is an energy
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah.
It's an energy exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some
Interesting.
people don't understand that and they're wondering why they can't get through their depressions and anxieties. Then you're adding alcohol and
Can't
drugs
fuck your way
to
out
it.
of that.
Yeah, and then you're adding drugs
do the
and
work.
alcohol
Yeah.
to it, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know how I could get out of my depression." And stuff. Well, because you're feeding this, you don't know the source where it's coming from. You're feeding it. That's why you're never healing.
Yeah.
And I used to have real bad anxiety, depression when I was 27, 26, where I used to have to go to the hospital from panic attacks.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, it was my lifestyle. Like I was hooking up with a lot of women, but I didn't realize how trauma they were.
Yeah.
And I noticed I do attract a lot of trauma people. Yeah. Like women, so it's like, it's crazy. And I noticed I started going through all that. I'm like, why am I so depressed? Like this and that. And I realized a lot of it was my lifestyle, my diet, and everything. That's why I started changing, like plant-based. And then I got into like yoga, meditation, prayer, all that stuff. So that helped me like be here now. Like now I'm like Miyagi, like
dude. Like I said, that energy does fucking like transcend like through whatever it is, a physical exchange or just being present next to something like that. Like
exactly. Like someone negative or energy vampire, they start feeding off. Like, why am I so tired? I didn't say anything.
You get that when you're
it's
in
like
like
parasitic.
a fucking
It's
an
like
elevator with
parasitic,
somebody.
man.
Why do I hate myself?
They have like a weird vibe, and you're kind of like something's fucking off with this person. It was like a same book, the Stockton Wild Pendulum thing. He talks about being in a clock shop, right? And you ever go into a clock shop and all the pendulums are swinging together. They don't set them up like that. They just naturally, from like catching each other's energy, they start to be in synchronicity with one another. Yeah. Same way women's like cycles go, together and shit.
That's
so
true.
Like, you're picking up on whatever that fucking flow is, and there's a regulatory thing. So either you're gonna like switch over your polarity, or you're gonna fucking like metal up. Come in like a medium, right? Like a fucking level out. But
I think with both of our occupations, we encounter a lot of different people all the time.
Yeah.
So like we're even more hyper aware of like if someone's energy's off, or like whoa, like what's something's off. Like you can just tell right away. Like
after we retired ghost hunting, I noticed that we're very sensitive to energies more now than before. Like you'll have a client.
You're so cleansed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're
that's
fucking
why
open for it.
Yeah, that's why.
It's always cleansing.
That's why we cleanse. Yeah, and then when you touch someone's like hair, we were about to cut their hair. It's like you could feel it sometimes when they're going through shit, and you're just like, oh fuck, and you already know.
Yeah.
So
like there's that person always trying to ask you for something, and you're trying to avoid them now because they're gonna ask you for something.
Yeah.
And then when you tell them no, they're like, wait,
Ralph.
Like, what?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Then like, can I touch your shirt or touch something? And it's just like, oh, they're trying to take something.
You got to watch out for the artificial dopamine chasers
that happened
out
to
there.
me before. I was like trying to avoid someone, and they're like, hey, can you do this? Can you? I was like, oh no, I can't right now. I gotta go. I was like, wait, can I touch your dread?
Yeah,
and
trying to put some bad juju on you.
Okay, and it got me. And then when he touched my dread, and then when I left because I was so annoyed because he got something from me, it just whatever. And I said, I slammed my head against the door from the back trunk door. I just went, went boom, and I was like, oh my God.
And it was on camera too, because we have a camera in the back, and he showed me it. I was like, dude, you look like you were drunk, man. He just went in, boom. It looked like something you'd watch in a comedy movie. I was like, wow, that shit was
still
real.
your coordination.
Yeah. Like I've never been hit that hard
dread.
since football from like falling, getting hit in the head.
Yeah. Jesus. That's crazy, man. But it's nuts, yeah. But I think I have a too bad we don't have that. Like, can we put it up on the screen? We have when we were doing the
Greystone?
the rainbow room. There was
Back to the Rainbow.
Yeah, Back to the Rainbow. Yeah, there was one. It was it was when we were in that room, the vampire room. No, it wasn't the vampire. I'm sorry, it was in Upland. There was also one where he had the rock box, and a little girl's voice was coming out of there. And she was saying his name Rocky over and over. Every time he asked something, my meter was going off, and then you could hear little slams happening.
And we have our meters too, and it's like
those things are
like because what the EMF meter is, it's
find it.
Energy radiation. You can detect radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that socket. It's giving out too much. Oh, the Wi-Fi box. Look at how your cell phone. You turn on your microwave. That thing will hit red like that. When you walk around, you're whatever, and it's not moving. Then it says, okay, you're in like a clear space. Yeah. So we were in this this upstairs lounge that's abandoned, in downtown Upland, and I have my meter. I have my infrared camera, cell phone, and my thing just started boom, right when he was asking questions, just boom, boom, and it was doing a motion I've never seen it done before. I'm like, this is nuts now, like.
You guys want to hear it?
It's gotta be so scary.
We actually have a video, but too bad we can't pop the video up, but you kind of see it. Oh shoot. You hear the slams? Boom. You hear the little girl's voice coming out of there? You can see me in the corner.
I would have left. I would have fucking been gone already.
You hear the meter?
Hear the meter? Yeah. Then another voice comes out of there. You hear that?
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Dude,
right?
What?
That's the crazy thing about the rock box is because you don't get any static. You get clear
Sounds
coming out of that.
Yeah. You hear the meter? You could hear the meter. It's like, yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
dude.
That's nuts, right?
That's why my Ghost Honey Days
I
is
like
Sage. Yeah.
I got this
Yeah.
fucking hair in the back.
I
of my
even-
neck standing up.
We
Oh,
even,
see,
got,
like-
we even got a picture from the Menendez house we just went to. We get to that.
You went
too.
to the Menendez house?
Yeah.
We took
What?
2 photos, and one there's an actual like dragon face coming out of the room
second
where the
time we
murders
went.
happened. Yeah,
So everyone see the happy Halloween.
yeah.
So we went. Our buddy Alfie, who's a driver, we said that house is right there on Sunset, and I was just like, oh, I have time. Let's try and go. And okay. And then one night, Jimmy's like, do you want to go to Menendez house? And I was like, okay, let's go. So we went the first night, and supposedly people are already going there. When we showed up, we're like, where's the house? Like maybe where all those 20 people are standing there.
Yeah, no shit.
yeah.
So the first time we went, it was so crowded that a cop drove by and said, get off the property, and scared everybody away.
Yeah.
Was there like, is it all gated?
It's all gated
Yeah,
because
'cause
it's being
people were
gutted right
going
now.
in.
And people were going
Yeah.
in with their phones and stuff.
Yeah, like
But I
the
mean, like-
construction workers were letting
Mhm.
people come in.
But
during
is
the
it
day.
like the house is not, no one's living there now?
Someone bought it? One of
Yeah.
Jordan's clients' friends bought it for 17 million.
But it's not like
Dude,
being
why
lived
would-
in at the
yeah.
moment. It's just like being
No, it's-
construction.
it's
No,
getting
just
ready
It's like a
for it right now.
construction
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think, I could be wrong. The person who bought it had no idea it was like a famous murder
They
house.
have to tell you. They have to disclose that.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
actually, you know what? After 10 years, right? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
there
I
you
didn't
go.
think he knew that
How
he was going to get that
famous
much
it
hype.
was.
Yeah.
It's like someone lives in the Nightmare on Elm Street house, and that door was always painted red, and he painted his door black and put a gate on the
Mhm.
2 hedges because people are going in and he's getting upset. People are taking pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And just like, what house you got.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
You better put a Freddy statue out there. Just
yeah,
take a
man.
picture.
You better show some love to the guests.
For real.
They show a lot of love in Pasadena for the Halloween
Yeah.
fans. Like,
Yeah.
people
But
are
that
pumping out there.
the Freddy house is right over by used to be a
Genesis.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we used to frequent that Blockbuster. Remember the fucking dudes tells about that? And,
Oh, yeah.
and they used to put a Freddy fucking
Yeah.
like statue out there and shit.
Oh,
back
That's
then.
dope,
Yeah.
man.
I would dress up as Freddy and stand in front of there once in a
Yeah,
while if
yeah.
I dressed up.
Yeah.
Just once
How
in a
many
while.
people you think are dressing up as the Menendez brothers and going?
Oh
to
my
the
God,
house?
I'm seeing everyone dressed like them now.
They had, like, the best
gym.
I was
fashion
thinking
in
that's
that
probably like
show,
the
yeah.
popular
Yeah.
Halloween costume
Yeah.
this year.
So
So
like
now we see 2 friends walking by, we're like, Menendez.
we're
style,
calling,
you know?
yeah, we've been calling all our like Beverly Hills clients like the younger generation.
Yeah.
You guys look like the Menendez brothers.
And then
We're
they'll
telling
look
them
at
all
us,
that.
like, you guys are actually brothers.
Yeah. It's so funny though, man.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. The first time we went there, I took a picture of the house and stuff, and then I went to sleep and I had a nightmare the
Mhm.
next morning, like around 6
Yeah.
in the morning, 6, 7 in the morning. I had a dream that I was able to go in the house during construction
Mm-hmm.
and film through the room, and then like there were other people there, like walking around doing the same thing, like
Yeah.
checking out the house.
yeah.
And Jimmy was there, and then he goes, I'm gonna go look over here. Okay, I'm gonna try and do a full 360 of the room from walking through the door. So when I walk through the door,
Mm-hmm.
I start filming it like this, and I start noticing the carpet, and then I saw that there were still
Mhm.
bloodstains on the carpet,
No.
and I was like, they never cleaned it up. It's still there, like
Yeah,
the
it
blood,
was
and it
creepy.
freaked me out. This was all in the dream. This wasn't exist, and I
Mhm.
woke up freaked out, thinking there was someone standing in the corner of the
Yeah.
room.
No way.
It's crazy when you
That
walk
was
up.
the next
When you
day,
walk
and I
up
was
to
like,
that
oh my
house, you
God.
could actually feel it.
Yeah, you
Like,
get-
I
'cause-
felt it in my chest. The second time got even more intense.
Really?
I was just like,
yeah, we went
dude,
one
you
more
could feel
time,
it.
and it was like
Mhm.
empty. Nobody was there.
It's like I felt like my immune system dropped being there. Like, see, like a cut in my throat, and like I felt like my immune system dropped there because I had like a little, like I got like a cold and cough the next day
Yeah.
after that. And then he put his camera over and he took 2 photos this time.
Yeah, because they say if you are paranormal investigating, you're using the camera. If it's your phone,
Mhm.
most ideally to catch something is with actual film.
Yeah.
But to take 2 to 3 pictures of the same spot,
Yeah.
Okay.
and you'll catch apparitions or something. And I did 2 of them. And what was crazy about this one is like because the driveway's like right there, but the gate's still on it. You stand there, and then you have the gadgets and the fancy toys or whatever to detect stuff, but the real ghost meter is you.
Yeah.
You're feeling in your chest. You start feeling sad or something. I immediately had like a pressure pushed on my chest.
Yeah, my heart started beating
the second
fast
time I was there.
Because if there was abuse there and murder, like that house has dark energy
For
in there.
sure.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? When we caught this on camera, we weren't even ghost hunting. We just took a picture.
It's just like a natural, oh yeah, boom.
I believe that there's something in there waiting. It's like the next energy to latch onto. Because think about it. We had the Mafia, Black Dahlia. We had Charles Manson. We had
OJ.
No, that was later. We had the
timeline.
Yeah, we had the Manson family, and then we had Richard Ramirez, and then we had the Menendez. Then we had OJ. So it's like this is like a passed on energy.
The encyclopedia of horror.
There's a lot of like murders that happened out here.
It's a Denzel Washington.
So if you
movie.
could see, like that's where the murders took place.
Training Day.
You could see in the door that looks like a dragon face, right? You could see it, right?
That area, it's lit up, and
That's
the doors
through
are
the
not
gate?
there, so you can see that where the
Check that out.
room's at, and it looks like a face there.
It looks like a dragon face with like red eyes, right? Or something like floating in there that's like waiting for you to go in there. Once we saw that, I was like, nope, we're going.
I was like, I think we have to go. We stayed for like
pretty
2-3
crazy,
minutes.
right?
All
Yeah,
right, let's go now.
And you could zoom out. It's the Menendez house.
You would think it'd be a glare from the light or something.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll send these to you guys and you guys post.
It's got to be exciting though, like doing that kind of stuff, because like there's like you're in search for like evidence of an afterlife, basically, or some form of an afterlife, right?
Like
Or a
going on, like
spirit.
a war.
Yeah,
going
like
on,
something that basically like we can't really see, but
Mhm.
maybe we can get glimpses of. Like there has to be like the excitement of like thinking like, damn, we could capture at any one of these times we're investigating stuff like undisputed, like fucking legitimate, like fucking going to the rainbow and you put your meter up and it's all of a sudden it's like the ace of spades, you know, like something like completely clear and like, you know, like Lemmy's voice. He's like, yes, Jimmy Jordan, it's me, Lemmy, you know, like something crazy. You know, like you can
talk to him.
Welcome back, boys.
It's like Harry Potter. He's flying around. You know,
there's so much history in that place. Like I think what was it called? The Villanova.
Yeah, it was a Villanova
before it was the Rainbow. Yeah,
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
And then,
a lot of stars.
John Belushi had his last meal there in the kitchen table over there.
So did Rick James. He went there before he OD'd.
Rick James went there and then went to his hotel, then OD'd or something like that. Right?
Yeah, having that like possibility of like it's got to be so exciting because like everything's quiet again, and then like you have like you're anxious because
it's definitely a nervous energy.
Like you're nervous and excited at the same time, and then you have like these gadgets that are going off that are indicating whether or not like something may or may not be there, and then like capturing anything like the fucking girl shit like that's fucking put hair on the back of my neck stand. It's like it's got to be so much more intense. Like just seeing it on a fucking phone, let alone like being there in this place. It's got to be like
and
that's what getting
like four people.
Immune system, you're like stressed.
Like that.
Ideally, you want no power of any source there. You want the electricity shut off. You want everything shut off. But really your flashlights and stuff and whatever.
That's what we tell everyone. If you really, really, really want to go hunt and you have like this extreme place that has a fuse box. You gotta turn the fuse box off, your phone's off, everything.
Flashlight, infrared camera.
Yeah, you don't want anything fucking up like the
meters.
Because then you don't want to catch false stuff or you hear like a fan or something.
Then you start debunking shit, because you get too excited because you think like every little sound is a ghost. Like if it just be a crack or something like that, like you stepped on or something, you bump into something or like the wind is blowing and hitting the drapes. You don't know. You're like, you start thinking everything's a ghost.
Have you guys ever used a Ouija board?
No. Fuck no.
No, okay. That's the way I was hoping that. Yes,
I like The Exorcist is why we never played it.
For sure. The Exorcist is the reason why. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what Jordan said in the last podcast, that horror movies are survival manuals.
Yeah.
You got to know your enemy. You got to know how to survive. You got to know the dudes.
But I also feel like that's kind of that same thing. You're not necessarily saying like, take me, but you're like, guide my hands. Like, fucking keep away from my hands. I don't want anything
don't touch
my
me.
Even though we love horror,
and if you feel something there, just say
Yeah.
you're not allowed here. Go into the light.
Yeah.
You've passed, cross over. That's the main thing of being a paranormal investigator.
That's like
some
the
don't
proverbial,
know.
clanking the pans for a bear.
Yeah.
You're not allowed here. Just go to the light.
That's the thing. If you
Just go
allow
into the
them,
light,
then they
man.
take over. But if you stop, no, and don't. My body.
You know what's
my
fucked up?
choice.
When I was a kid,
yeah.
My body, my spirit.
My body, my choice.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I saw The Exorcist. I was probably like in 4th grade or some shit.
Right?
Scared
Oh, yeah.
the shit out of me. Maybe
Yeah.
even younger. Like scared the absolute shit out of me. Scariest movie I've ever seen still to this day. And I was going to a Catholic school at the time, and during recess, you know, you have like board games and shit, and they had a Ouija board, and we would always play with the
Yeah.
fucking
It's
Ouija
always
board.
like the
Oh, wow.
actual,
And then
like,
I remember there was
religious-
a point, like I went from, it was like 1st grade to like 6th grade. I was in school there. And at one point throughout like going to that school, they got rid of all the Ouija boards.
Whoa.
Yeah, they were like,
shit.
we're just not having them. They're
The
not
crazy
allowed in
thing
school
is
anymore.
the Ouija board is made for kids.
Yeah.
Like it's 4+ up. You know,
Yeah.
I used to see that at Toys R Us
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
If you want to get real,
And he was like, "Look," and it's always
Yeah.
like on the bottom, like
if
all
you want to
colored.
get
I was
really
like, "Hey,
deep
look,
with that,
there's the Ouija you can
if
buy
you
there
really
for your kid.
if you really
Right
want
next
to,
to Jumanji.
yeah, if you want to get really
Candyland,
deep,
Ouija board.
if you want to get
Yeah.
really deep into this shit, like, why is it for kids? If you think
Yeah.
about it, the main corporates that are making that or whatever, you know, supposedly they're into
Gotta get
dark
them early.
shit.
Gotta get them.
So you get the kids. Why? Because they're the innocent.
Right, and they're more
That's
like
why.
probably their minds aren't
Yeah.
like, you know,
Same
like,
with
The
people
darkness
who are
always
really
wants to
old, too.
attack the innocent. Yeah,
that's
My
That's what it
grandfather
is.
used to be like, "Who's that man standing over there?"
yeah.
And
Before
I'm
he
like,
passed,
"What
he
man? You
started
think he
seeing
was
some-
joking? He had Parkinson's and
Yeah.
what? So like, sometimes
He's
he
a
was there,
clairvoyant
sometimes he
with
wasn't.
Parkinson's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, who's that over there?
I think there's a
I'm
certain
gonna
point
look
where you start to those filters that you kind of build as you get older fade away as you get older.
Yeah.
That upper age, and they're not there when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Like they say dogs and kids see spirits more than like adults and shit
Mhm.
like that because
Yeah.
we're too busy focused on other shit. Like I gotta pay the rent. I can't see that ghost over in the corner.
Dogs,
kids
kids,
are fucking
dogs, kids, and
Dogs.
the elderly,
Yeah.
elderly.
Do you ever
yeah.
take a dog with you to like a paranormal?
We haven't
You
done
can't-
that
No,
yet.
we
No.
haven't. I mean,
We haven't done that yet.
have you ever been asleep and had like sleep paralysis at some point?
Yes, I have.
Or- okay, so
That's fucking terrifying.
so like I think the last time I've ever really had it, I was probably like 17, 18 or something.
Me too. I was
And
definitely, yeah.
my door was like half open, and we had stairs. And I thought, like, when you're asleep, you think one of your parents is walking around or something, right?
yeah.
And all of a sudden, I hear this foot comes up. Then the footsteps sound unfamiliar after a while. But you're still asleep, but you
Yeah.
hear
Mhm.
stuff. And then I notice my door is half open, and then something's standing right there. Then all of a sudden it moves so quick, and it's like staring at me. And then you start doing like sign of the cross, and your faith starts jumping in, you know.
Or
And
we
then
were raised
when it
Catholic.
started doing this
Yeah.
and like started praying, and all of a sudden my window was cracked open, and then I feel something just go out the window, go like this, and then you hear all these dogs start howling and barking
No
like instantly. That
way.
was the
No.
most time I've
Dude, that
ever
gave me
felt.
chills.
You know
That
what?
was nuts, you know.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy?
And that was before being a paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say that's like a little demon sitting on your chest.
And he was
you
just
know?
passing
Dude,
through
you know
or
what?
something. You know?
That's what that's so it's funny. When I was in school, there
Mm.
was this time when, like, I was probably like around 16 or 17, and I had that same thing where I had sleep paralysis, and I was like on my bed, but I like couldn't move, and like was trying to like move, but like nothing. And I had this like
Mhm.
it felt like this black dark mass was just like hovering over me.
Oh shit.
Nuts.
And it was fucking
Whoa.
crazy. And this one kid I was in school with, he was like a big like religious guy. He's like, "Oh, yeah, that was a demon, like
Yeah.
over you, like fucking, I don't know, doing
Well,
something."
it's like
trying to like.
Well, you know, like
fucking
when you're a
mess with
teenager, you know how you
Yeah.
have, you know how like
Yeah,
when you
it's
have
fucking
wet
crazy.
dreams, you
Yeah.
know, wet dreams.
Sure.
Supposedly that's for it's an incubus for men, or succubus. I'm sorry, it's a succubus for
Mm.
men. And supposedly when you fantasize, you're in your dream, you're having
Yeah.
sex with an attractive woman. It's actually a demon disguising itself as an attractive
And then
woman.
it-
Yeah, that's just the plot for the scary movie too.
No, exactly. Yeah, but that's what they say. And
Yeah.
then the incubus is like
The
it's
male
a-
version.
It's the male version that seduces the women in their sleep.
Yeah.
Great band,
That's what
by the way.
latches onto them.
Yeah. Very good band. Very good
Yeah.
band.
It's a good band.
Yeah, incubus. Yeah,
Yeah, shout out
Lot
to
of-
Incubus.
yeah. Shout out to Incubus.
Keep
A lot
making
of
those
girls-
songs.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of girls love your music. I noticed that. I was like,
Girls
you were
love
onto
your
something.
music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
one more story for a paranormal thing. So
yeah,
our buddy,
the Halloween
Yeah,
episode.
the
We got
Halloween
all the
special.
spooky stories.
Spooky,
Keep going.
spooky
Spooky,
stories.
see, like called the leprechaun.
no, leper, no, stop, no.
Yeah.
So
Like,
our-
don't you know what happens on Halloween?
you get candy.
Oh.
Okay, so our buddy John Hybrick,
Yeah.
aka Ranger John, he was one of the rangers at Greystone
Okay.
Manor in Beverly Hills here.
Mm.
He was the guy who opened and turned on all the lights every day
By himself. Yeah.
by himself, right? And he had a group of friends, including us, go there around this time of year for hiring. And for him, what he does, sometimes he'll do little booby traps and stuff like that.
Kind of scary, you know.
To scare you, mess around, you know, have like a little doll rolling around, or he'll push the chandelier. He'll have like a fishing wire and pull some. I don't know how I did that. That's all over there. You know, he would do stuff like that. So I call and ask him, you know? Because some stuff I was catching, I was like, I would ask him, like, John, is anybody else here today? Like from over there? He was like, no, nobody's here. It's just us. There's no gardeners or anything right now. Okay. Cause I'm hearing doors slam now. And we got one, cause I had so much new gadgets at the time. I didn't know which ones to play with. So people were there making fun. Here, do you want to hold this?
And they are
you
fun
hold
when
this.
you have them.
You hold this. And then they were John was introducing us. It was me, Jimmy, and Anna. And he was saying, oh, hey, everyone, this is Jimmy Jordan and Anna. Like, they have paranormal investigating experience and blah, blah, blah. And one of John's friend had the meter, and the meter was and I was just like, already. And then he said, everyone say hi to them. And when you're saying stuff like that, you're talking to everybody, right?
Yeah, not just the actual
even
exactly.
the dead. Yeah, even the dead.
So right when he said that, a door from the outside went boom and scared like some of the guests that were there. And I was like, dude, what the heck? But we were moving so fast, you couldn't really like know what was going on or know what he's doing too. You know?
Right.
But his buddy, what's his name? I think it's Keith Cleet. Wrote a book
about
Cleet Keith. Right? He wrote a book on the manor called Ghost of Greystone in Beverly Hills. Yeah. And it has a lot of people experiences from other paranormal investigators and mediums saying that there is a demon living in this attic. Yeah. Because there are knowns of death that would happen. I forgot who lived there. Was it? Do you guys know anything about it? Did Doheny live there?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so Mrs. Doheny. So John would tell us little fun facts while we were there. And he said, so every time something happened, a murder or whatever, the cops were always number one to call because they were excited because a lot of stuff that happened was hush hush, and she would have like a envelope full of cash to pay them when they go up, regardless you're going up for whatever.
Especially in Beverly Hills, there's a lot of hush hush shit out here. Yeah.
John's experience about it. So John Hybrick, former park ranger, which he moved to Wisconsin today because he couldn't. LA was just too much after a while. He wanted peace and quiet. And he's a manager at a movie theater over there, which is he's a big movie guy too.
Yeah, you need to know anything about movies, dude, that guy. Call John. Yeah.
John, about a week or two into my training, I was with Ranger Steve Clark. We were in the doll room moving chairs into the closet. All of a sudden, there is a really floral smell, like an old lady perfume, like something your grandmother might wear. And it was really stenchy at first. I thought it might have been from opening one of the closet doors, like mothballs, but it wasn't. It smelled very perfumey, like when someone walks past with cologne that's wearing way too much. Because when Steve opened the door, the smell of fragrance just came to you like a big waft, heavy. It wasn't a normal smell, that kind of thing. And I asked Steve if he could smell, and he said, "Smell it. It's in my lungs." And I was almost choking. What the hell is that? And I said, that's what he said. Like, so, and he also has experiences of doors slamming, for going through some of the tapes and just listening, because you have to watch it over and over because there's stuff you miss.
There was a moment where all our batteries in our phones and our devices and camera all fucking dropped down to 1%.
And John would say too, like, you know what was funny? Every time we went there, our batteries would always have Alzheimer's and turn off quickly, only when we were there.
Because those things could drain your energy.
They drain your batteries, drain your energy or whatever, just so they can do something like a door slam or
if it's intense, your heart could stop supposedly.
And then some people who are actors and actresses working there, they're like, "Hey, is there a little girl running around in here?" And they're like, "No, it's only us and the crew." They're like, "There's a little girl that I keep seeing like here or something." You know, there's like,
because they shot like the interior for like the '89 Batman there, and like
Puppet Master and all that shit.
Like There Will Be Blood. That's based off of that.
We saw that pin there too. Yeah, it still had like the blood stain from the movie.
Oh, no shit.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I remember.
But that's a good point though. It's like the fucking like sucking up the energy to like take that shit.
There was another story there where I think it was the owner of the house, his son was having an affair with another man, and he didn't want anyone to know that. So he hired a hitman to kill his son, but ended up kill his son's lover. Sorry, and ended up killing his son on accident.
So he had to go back and kill them both. Looks like they kill each other.
Yeah.
No way.
There's some dark shit out here. Yeah.
Dark shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, like an endless amount of fucking murders and all that shit out here for sure.
Do you have any ghost stories from the Comedy Store that you heard?
Yeah.
No.
Supposedly that's like the darkest building on this block.
Yeah, I don't personally, and like we should ask fucking Homos about that, but yeah, I don't have any fucking like Comedy Store. I mean, ones that you guys told us basically from, that's about it. But I know that was like a mob spot beforehand. So like I'm
in
sure
that cellar they would do their thing.
Yeah. But I feel like every place in LA has a story like that.
Yeah, the Viper Room. Supposedly there's a body in there that they never found. That's buried. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Viper. That's
like they buried a body there and cemented it just to hide it.
Jimmy Hoffa's body.
Is that who that is?
I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah.
If that's who that is. That's
yeah.
So we were watching Ghost Adventures, and they did the Viper Room, and that's one of the spots we wanted to do before they did.
Yeah.
But they have the
they got
the first
money,
they got the first dibs. So
they got the
just,
money, the equipment,
cool.
the audience for that. Yeah.
And suppose they got River Phoenix's voice there, and they are thinking because of the people who work there that he never left that night. That he was repeating the same night, maybe.
That he didn't know he was dead.
So suppose they helped him cross over during that episode.
Yeah, that was actually a really good episode.
That was a really good one.
That one was really good.
Which is on Halloween night.
Huh.
He died on Halloween night. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he OD'd right there. But there's also rumors in the streets of the locals out here say that he was poisoned that way to look like a OD.
Overdose.
It was over a girl. I don't know if we can name names about what happened, but it
that's
was like
the conspiracy.
That's the conspiracy about it. Yeah.
Damn.
Because it was over a girl, and he ended up winning that girl over, and
Oh, you believe that, Alex? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was it another famous person that poisoned him?
Maybe. I don't know.
It was,
That's where you have to do your own homework.
That's where you have to do your own homework. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Can't just drop all kinds of names.
Other person, perhaps a pirate in a Disney movie?
I don't know. You have to kind of like do your research on that one.
Yeah. I am very unsure of all that.
Yeah. I am unsure, but we just heard it was a famous person. Very.
Speaking
famous.
of things that we are unsure but sure of, so we were talking about the Zodiac documentary that's on Netflix and stuff. You guys haven't seen yet, but you're familiar with the story, right?
Oh yeah. I saw the movie. It was pretty long. Too.
Okay, so basically in the movie they zero in on who they think the suspect is, and it kind of this new documentary basically flushes out like that is the guy, and it's just a bumbling of fucking police work where they never actually fucking like booked him on it and shit. But the bigger guy that's the bald dude in there, like the suspect, like yeah. This documentary that's on Netflix. Spoiler alert. Basically just fucking solidifies that's a dude. And it's fucking creepy as shit because he had like, he was one of those guys that was like a single dude that kind of latched on to a single mom with a bunch of kids, right? And there was like the fun uncle, but also like a fucking pederast and like just did some weird shit. But like this dude is at like every location where the murders were, like dating back to stuff that they didn't even pin on him initially as the Zodiac before he was dubbed himself the Zodiac down in fucking like Riverside. He would take these kids on a fun road trip and then like drugged them, left them in a hotel room, went and murdered this chick at a fucking Riverside College, then got in the car and drove back up to fucking like Vallejo and shit. Just
or like would case out like the location with the kids and be like, hey, we're gonna go like sailing on a boat and we're gonna go to this lake, or we're gonna go camping in this thing. And then these people now that were kids at the time are now like 70 years old, and they're like, watch the movie, the actual like theatrical movie, and we're like, hey, like we went to all those places as kids with that guy,
that same guy,
but we didn't think of anything of it. And then they go home and they're looking through all their pictures and shit. They're like, damn, like every place that someone was murdered, like we had gone there prior and like gone camping or gone fishing or gone like some kind of a family trip with this guy. So they were like kind of casing out the locations of all these murders unknowingly. It was like
legit, like
nuts.
the hood that he wore in that fucking like famous like stabbing in the park. Kids helped him make that shit. They helped him make it because he was like an avid swimmer and fucking diver.
And diver, yes. Yeah,
so they make his own wetsuits and shit. But they also like remembered helping him make this hood, right? Didn't really know what it was and never saw it again. But like they helped. Like the dude is fucking like really fucking demented like that. Like just again bringing him on fucking like murder runs basically because there was another like one that was just south of Vallejo on the coast, right? A couple of kids on like the last day of fucking, last week of high school before they graduate. He pulls up there, tells the kids to stay in the car, disappears down by the coast, comes back running. He's got fucking blood on his hands. One of the girls like trying to, oh, you okay? Trying to wipe the blood off, and he fucking shoves her like just, and they never thought about it because they're like, why would
they're like
this?
little kids, so they're like, oh, that was just weird, but like, oh, we're just gonna go back home.
Yeah,
it's like
this is also like, I don't know, 5 hours away from where they live. So like, and then there weren't that, current in the news. They're fucking like children. So like, they're not like, oh, the Zodiac murderer. They're not fucking following this case and shit. So like years later, they see the movie. That one of the brother was kind of a little more hip to it. So when the movie comes out, he actually stopped talking to his siblings after he like said, hey, I think fucking, Lee was the dude that did this shit. And they're like, I can't believe you'd say that. He was such a good guy. He was like a stepdad to us and all that shit. And then they all go to the movie and they're like, yeah, you're right. And that movie kind of fucking like reunited them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super fucking.
That's crazy. I gotta check that out now.
Yeah,
and like he like the like this whole thing was like
the
Zodiac
teacher.
killer. He had like deciphers, like the
ciphers,
codes, ciphers. And so like every day in his class, they would put like
every Friday they do like a cipher.
Like, so he was like educated on how to do it and how to make these, and like like everything, even though there's no like physical like evidence that they could say like he did it, was like all the dots like connected were like way too much of a coincidence for
well
not
they
to be
say
him.
that like that they couldn't, but it's like the amount of shit they fucking arrest people on that's like circumstantial evidence, like this dude was like fucking just like had a fucking 30-year run of circumstantial evidence. So like in the 90s they were still kind of looking at him. I think he died in the early mid 90s or something like that, but
yeah, it was like 96 or something.
Yeah,
it was like a year after he did like an interview like on TV with like blurred his face out and shit, and he's like, yeah, I'm like the guy, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And then like a year later he died of like some like cardiac arrest or something. Then he had a note in his hand when he died that said, like they thought like, oh, he had a note, like he wrote it, like he's gonna confess, and he was like, I'm not the Zodiac killer. And then it had some other like cipher on the fucking like letter, but like still just making it really really like interesting and more of like a confusing like murder, like it's still an ongoing investigation. Like they still haven't like closed the case because
that's crazy.
Now they're able to like test like the blood and like certain things that like he had a knife in his car that like he gave to like a neighborhood kid, and he's like, yeah, I've had this in my house forever. That guy gave it to me. It's wrapped in like clear tape, the whole thing, so it's like preserved. And they're like testing it and like seeing if they could find like if there's blood on it, which they found blood on it, but like trying to match it to these bodies. Like, so as technology like progresses, they're finding more and more evidence. So it's just building the case. It makes it more like this crazy like murder or murder spree that like I think eventually will get like uncovered by some kind of evidence that they
it's
find.
Basically the guy. They just have to fucking like finally like stamp off on it, like that's okay, we can close that case. But like because that was one of those things, they were trying to tie that to Ted Bundy back in the day, like the bomber and shit, because like he fit some of the criteria, especially when it went to he was talking about like bombing stuff at some point in time towards like the end of his like run. But there was that point where he ends up going to jail for like what the kids thought was like he like beat up a cop, but like he actually fucking got busted for like pedophilia and shit. So he was like in prison for like 4 years, and then when he gets out, it's like, all right, the Zodiac's back and shit like that. And it was like,
there was like no murders during that 4 year span, and then he got out, and then it started happening again. Yeah, so it was like
that's
like,
crazy.
Like so many things like that. They kind of explain to you. They're like, this is pretty fucking damning evidence.
So you said this is on Netflix?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's like only 3 or 4 episodes, and then like some of the like survivors of the kids, like one of the guy actually passes away while the filming of it. Like he's like they're all like in their late 70s and shit. And they're like,
that's nuts, man.
Just like trying to get all this out. One of the other crazy things in that documentary, the mother, they think that the mom of those kids knew that he was, but for some reason was like infatuated with the Zodiac killer, and also kind of like having this secret was kind of like made her like, I don't know, gave her excitement or something. So she told one of the kids, she goes, hey, like I'll give you this box that I have, and it'll answer all of the questions that you guys are asking me about this, but you can't do it until I'm dead. And so then she said this like a couple years before she like passed away, and then right before she died, her son was like, hey, like, you said you had the box for me to like answer all these questions that we were all asking, like, where is it? And she's like, what are you talking about? I don't know. And like they couldn't find it, but they ended up finding all these letters, like boxes and boxes of like handwritten letters that he wrote to the mom while he was in prison, and like saying all this crazy stuff, like just more like
a lot of alluding to the fact that like Zodiac. He's like, yeah, I can get the Zodiac off of me or some shit, like just basically a roundabout way saying like I'm the Zodiac, you know it and shit and she and there was something else with that fucking bitch, because that once I heard that, no, for real though, because I'm like, just to put your kid in a fucking like in a monster's like reach like that, and he actually confessed to the brother about like molesting his sister and shit. So that's crazy. When he fucking was like, yo, dude, I'm off of this fucking guy. Like, I think she was still in denial about that after.
Yeah, she was like, oh no, like that's not true. I was like, no, he told me. He was like, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, he's just joking.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, when you fucking like, drinking the Kool-Aid for that long, you have like decades long relationships. But here's the thing. So there was this like, there's probably more other murders with this guy.
Yeah.
Because there's a New York, 1971 New York letter they get. So the older daughter that was on a lot of these runs with him moved to New York when she's like 16, married some guy. And then he sends a letter to the same way he would to like the San Francisco newspapers and shit, to some publication in New York, saying, I'm going to kill this chick. And then he would do those kind of like a cipher algorithm type name. So it was like slightly askewed from her name, but basically saying, I'm going to kill fucking like Connie Hensley or some shit. And it's this chick. And then he like didn't come through, but he actually called her and said, I'm going to come get you. She's like, no, I don't want you to come get me. I'm going to stay here. I don't want to go back to Vallejo. I have a life for myself. And like, for whatever reason, didn't go murder her, but like she was very much set up to be like one of his fucking like victims and stuff.
And there's two, the like codes that haven't been deciphered yet that they still are trying to crack.
Wow,
that's crazy.
So I think like the whole craziest thing about it is like how it like, okay, like imagine right now if someone like did that, like murdered a bunch of people and then was like, hey, I'm the Zodiac killer and here's my like cipher, put it in all the papers, and all the papers put it in the paper, so you get like your full page ad of like his thing, and then like the whole like country basically was trying to like decipher his like code, and then like kept putting stuff out there, and then having like a conversation with the public and the newspapers like throughout this is going on, which is like seems so nuts and like terrifying. Like nobody knew who it was. The cops were like, we don't know, we're just putting his shit out in the paper. He killed more people, and he threatened, he'd be like, if you guys don't fucking do this, if you don't put this ad in the paper, I'm gonna kill 8 people today. And they'll be like, oh, like okay, like like can you imagine that? Like we don't know who, there's no leads other than this fucking
he feels like the
letters,
like the Riddler from the Batman
sure.
Year One. That's basically what he's like based off of. A lot of movies are based off of real shit if you really pay attention to a lot of them. Like if you were to write like a James Bond CIA movie, like
how are you gonna get that?
Like, how are you gonna get that kind of information in detail? Like I don't know shit about like gadgets and technology and CIA shit, and like for me to write them, like someone's telling you to write that shit, man. It's like every movie's based off, even horror.
Horror. Ed Gein's based off like 3 or 4 different movies. All different
slashers.
Well, Psycho.
Those movies are based off Ed Gein,
exactly.
Psycho,
Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Hannibal Lecter,
and
did we say Norman Bates? Yeah, we said Norman Bates. Hannibal Lecter, Leatherface, and Buffalo Bill.
There it is.
Yeah, Buffalo Bill. Yeah.
Do you guys have any like updates as far as like when your movie you think will be released so people can?
We're hoping to be done by March.
Okay. So that's what's cool.
And that's when you guys are gonna get your call.
Wait for the call.
Wait
for the call.
Think about film industry. You'd be like, it's Tuesday, and you'll get a call and be like, hey, can you come on set tomorrow? Can you come over to the Joshua Tree by 4 a.m.?
We'll be there, dude.
For magic hour.
And we're like always, when we have friends who are working on projects, whether it's videos, whatever, we're just like, fuck it, we're down,
Just let me know if I got to bring the cutlass, dude. I'll drive out there.
Oh, that'd be cool. Just to have that in front.
Yeah, we got to have both of you guys on there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I guess this is a good part of the podcast to talk about, this is where we kind of wrap it up and let people know what you have going on and
definitely
other things you have coming out. And
we have a short in post right now that's almost being done colored, and then our buddy Ricky from Ice Nine plays guitar. He has his band Hawk. He wants to do the composing for it, which is what we're really excited about.
Pretty cool.
He's excited about too, which is cool. He had a cool Halloween party yesterday that we went to.
Yeah, it was like simple and chill.
Guess our invitations must have got lost in the mail, huh?
This
I think it's quite possible they never said in the mail.
yeah. This one's the short, just to kind of like keep people like,
and it's like
okay,
fun,
you guys
different
are doing
style
shit,
too.
you know?
Also,
Yeah.
it's like it's more like fun.
Yeah.
You know, like a Goosebumps episode.
Yeah, I got
or something.
campy vibes.
We're not
from
that
this one.
dark, you know.
Yeah. But our the one we're
The
working
horror
on,
one,
our feature, our
will have
features
its
kind of
moments.
our features kind of dark with
Yeah.
some humor, some action, but we can't say what it's about.
Mhm.
All we could say that it does take place out here,
Yeah.
and a lot of the shit we talked about, it kind of like there is some truth in there.
Kind of ties it all in.
Yeah, we don't want to say but it's like, yeah, hopefully like fucking put some light bulbs in people's heads, you know?
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah. What do they say on Matrix 4? Like sometimes some people don't like the truth. Like what did he say? He's all they like the world I make for them. They like being told what to do. They like being lied to. It makes them feel safe, you know?
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
I
works for
believe what doesn't kill you simply makes you
stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your only regret is that you didn't buy more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a fun conspiracy that a client of mine, Kevin, told me. He was up in Mount Olympus
Yeah.
with a friend, and they were walking through the forest, like pushing these vines, and it's quiet. It's just them two. Say like you and Tony just walking through the
This was
forest,
actually a good
talking,
one.
having
Yeah.
fun, and he freezes because they hear something, and they're like, "Hold on, stop." Then all of a sudden, this giant, what do you say, like 6'7" furry creatures walking through, and it's pushing these things, giant hands or whatever. And he's quoting that he saw a Sasquatch, a
Yeah.
Bigfoot, and he froze, and his buddy froze too. And he said, his buddy said something like, we got to get out of here. And then that thing disappeared. So I don't think that Sasquatch knew that they were there either for them walking. So, and he said he saw it full, like from here, like say from where Jimmy's at all the way where behind Eric right
Yeah.
there. And that's how close they were to it. And he said the only way he kind of believes that that's what he saw is because he was with somebody
His friends saw the same thing.
and they saw the same
No.
thing. Because
Yeah.
if one of them saw it by themselves, they would be like,
Yeah. The conspiracy
disagree,
too is
yeah.
that Bigfoot,
And that was in
he,
Mount
he
Olympus.
travels through portals.
Yeah.
So he could like
And suppose there's more than
Travel,
one of them
yeah.
too.
yeah.
It's
Which
like a
is pretty
school of them.
cool.
Same with
Bigfoot
Loch
lives
Ness
in Mount
Monster
Olympus.
too.
So
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose like we
But
like
they say that's
You think Bigfoot's going Hollywood?
yeah. Like we love
What a
this.
sellout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love this kind of shit. That's what's cool, man.
Yeah.
Isn't that Mount Olympus?
I've heard
up
they're
north, right?
interdimensional. That's
Mount
like one of
Olympus
the
is like
conspiracies,
right.
yeah.
There's a Mount Olympus like down the street.
Well, what's the one up the
No,
coast?
I think yeah.
Is it?
There's a street. There's a street in the city, right? Yeah. There's both. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it Mount Olympus?
There's two.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not the one over
That's
here
just
that
pretty
like the
cool.
actual kind of
Foresty one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
So it's like, yeah, we went from like chasing ghosts, and it was like there was a part of me like, should we chase aliens next? But I'm like, but then you start getting like the white
How you
collar
gonna get up there?
sunglass
Yeah.
people coming over. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
we don't need that.
I went to Scotland in March, and I went to Loch Ness to
Oh,
go
you
on a
did?
boat
Yeah.
ride
Oh,
on the
cool.
darkest sea, which was cool. Just
Yeah.
I was
maybe
texting him,
try
you
and
see
get a-
anything?
get a
Like, you see
glimpse
anything?
of-
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
but they're saying though they're like antisocial as well too.
Yeah.
If they do, the last sighting was probably in 2019. An Asian tourist was taking pictures of her child and freaked out over
Yeah.
like her lens over it.
Mm-mm.
But there's another monster of Loch Ness which I forgot that was there was Mr. Aleister Crowley's house is right next to there.
Yeah.
By the water.
he's fucking-
Isn't it weird
That
how all
would have
these
been
like
really scary.
yeah.
But I was like, man, we could have went.
isn't it
see
weird how all
Crowley's-
these like these like rich people are into like dark shit?
Yeah.
And it's like it's not a secret. It's like in front of all our faces.
Yeah.
Like he said, Aleister Crowley, and he's just he had a big house. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Like,
See, yeah.
I
so it's-
forgot when we left. I was like,
Yeah.
the other monster of Loch Ness was Aleister Crowley's
Yeah.
house.
Wait till P Diddy dies and all you're gonna have
Yeah,
a whole
all
bunch
this
of
shit's
ghosts
gonna
and
come
shit in that
out.
house.
You want to know
Yeah.
something crazy? Since 09, like I've been reading about that shit since 09, and I used to tell people shit like that. And then Jordan, as he got a little older, he started getting into it too.
Yeah.
There used to be videos about the shit, everything. And then like once 2020 hit and people were exposing it, they started taking them down. And then people are like, Jimmy and Jordan, I thought you guys would be crazy. Like all the Diddy shit's
I'm
coming
like,
on.
now
For
that it's
what?
mainstream, we're
Yeah.
kind of over.
I was
it.
all like, I'm over it because now it's like, this is your turn to wake up. Like
Yeah.
we've been waking up since 09. And it's like, we're running out of conspiracies because they're all coming true now. So it's like, yeah, you know? So like, I don't know if they're conspiracies anymore because they're all facts now. So,
Yeah, right.
you know,
Yeah, it's alternative facts. I don't like it. conspiracy is I think a negative connotation with that. I think
Yeah,
it's an alternative thought. You know what I mean? Like you can't just rule anything out. Everything's open for like discussion and shit. That you kind of downplay the thought of something like that when it's just like by dubbing it like a conspiracy theory because like no one fucking knows. Like the same with the pyramids being built by aliens. Like you say that a conspiracy theory and we're like fucking conspiracy theory. It's like, do you know how the fuck do you know they were built? Because like I don't believe that fucking manual labor can do that because like
the cuts are too perfect. No, dude, right?
Exactly.
Do you know when that word
3D
was first
laser
born?
Printers?
Yeah. Conspiracy when it was first born.
The CIA.
It was the JFK murder.
Yeah.
That was the first.
But the CIA is the one that dubbed that terminology to fucking kind of throw shade at it and stuff like that. Because they killed him. And that's in our podcast.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Spooky
season. Yeah. Spooky
season.
Spooky stories. Yeah. Please look.
Ladies and gentlemen, if Tony goes off missing, letting you know, like he would never disappear like that.
Yeah.
And I love my life. I'm not going to end it.
And he's not suicidal.
Me neither.
Me neither. I love life too much. Like I get to kick it with my boys, my brother. Like, dude, life's good.
Yeah, please don't kill us.
Where can people find you on the
alive? Where can they find you alive?
Yeah. Where can they follow any of your ghost hunting stuff or follow you on Instagram and all that?
Yeah,
we have like
Instagram.
We have like 3 Instagrams.
No, I try not to because Instagram does a lot of the same stuff, and I can't even keep up posting
too much shit out
my
there,
stuff anymore. Like stories is the easiest.
Yeah, that's what I kind of focus on with this
because we have our own personal ones. He's Hair Jordan. What for?
Yeah.
Is there a slash?
Underscore.
Yeah.
I used to be underscore Hair Jordan underscore. Then one spooky season, I put myself as Scare Jordan, and I realized I lost my Hair Jordan tag, so I put my favorite number behind it after.
And then I'm James Herbs on
That's where you guys want me to send clips to.
Yeah. And then we also have JQ Hair. That's our shop.
And then we have JQ DJ Bros. Monster.
That's what I was saying because last time I was like, there's a lot of stuff in the thing. I don't know which one you want me to send it to. That's easier.
Yeah,
so
just personal stuff, and then we'll blast it out.
We'll blast it on our other stuff too. Yeah, but it's cool.
We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. There's so much shit now, but this one was actually fun. And what's cool is like I was telling her I'm excited to come back and do this. The Halloween special because that's what we were talking about.
Absolutely.
My apologies for not painting our faces
boys.
again.
I'm disappointed we didn't
Next
paint
time we'll all paint our faces.
Yeah, we'll all paint our faces.
How tired you were after work.
Yeah. We'll paint our faces during the podcast.
Yeah, we'll all do it.
We got a whole year.
There's a chick who tells murder mysteries while she's doing her makeup.
Oh, really?
And
does she do like the dope ass makeup jobs where it like looks all like super real?
No, she's putting on blush and fucking blush and lip gloss. Yeah.
There's an idea. Maybe we can do that. No.
You can find me at Tony Klein Comedian.
Tony Klein.
TonyKleinComedian.com, my website, and my co-host.
Find me on the Eric and Tony Show. Go to ericandtonyshow.com, buy a t-shirt, buy a mug, support the show. Go to Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify to listen or watch the full episodes posted every Monday, and then 60-second clips on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram every single day. So keep an eye out for these two gentlemen.
And like their show too, man. It's really cool.
Your local podcast.
Support them, man. The only regret you're gonna have is that you didn't like more.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Enjoy your spoon. Be safe, too, everyone.
Yeah.
If you have kids, make sure you're checking their candy and stuff.
And if you're a kid, have your mom check your candy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right.